There we go. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Vickers. Jeffrey, what is up?
To play, big dog. Definitely a pleasure to be back on here chopping it up with you. What, 4 years?
Yeah, it's I think the third time. Third
It
time you've
is.
been on. Yeah. Because we did the original, and then we did a second one. I've been on your show. I was on your show at least once.
What was it? What did I call? Part of my reach.
Part of my reach. And
Part
then
of my reach.
wait, I took this down. I found this last night. This is the best TikTok I ever made, and it was with you in it. It's right here. Hold on, let me get this going.
New Jack City. Dude, no, like seriously. That's why one of the things I love to say is because I used to smoke out loud. I always think of Pookie when he's relapsing.
Yes, sir.
That always sticks to me. That madness, that coming to tears moment when before he hit that crack pipe, because he knew he was gonna hit it.
Woo!
And it was a
Yeah,
wrap.
you gotta send that to me.
Inevitable. And he had already relapsed. And in his head,
Yeah, never get high on your own supply, bro.
Send that to me, JD.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. That was the best TikTok I ever made when it comes to the editing part of putting Pookie next to you and shit.
Okay.
Pookie, and you're like nodding your head as Pookie's hitting that. Like, I synced it up perfect. I was like, I remember when I did it, I'm like, holy shit, this is the best one I've done.
It now,
yeah, man. Because oh my god, you were the only person I can really talk to where I can say New Jack City, and you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about.
JD, where you at again? I forgot.
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yeah, because we talked about you being. Let's do a little refresher. You're here for your book, number 2. Congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
When's that come out again?
That is slated August 16th, September 16th.
Okay,
So
I'll put it next Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday. Yeah, today, for everyone watching, today is the 12th, which is funny because we released the first episode we ever did on the 11th of September 4 years ago.
9/11.
So almost 4 years to the day was when I released our first episode. And I'll release this one next week. So if you're watching this, that means his book is out. Where's it at?
Oh, it's definitely on Amazon. It's going to be everywhere, but the main platform is definitely Amazon. Paperback is the cover. This is the matte cover. And as you can see, it says not for resale, right? And the reason why it says that, this is the proof. You know, an author has an opportunity to actually see what it looks like before it gets published, right? So we get one little proof. And on this one, I had to tighten up some things. I definitely did. And I'm going with the glossy cover. I like this cover, don't get me wrong, but the glossy cover is going to bring that color out. It's going to make that blue pop. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Thank you.
So what is it about? Because, you know, the other one was Sober Slogan. Number 1 was Sober Slogans. That shit was hilarious. I'll say that's hilarious, too. You know, that was more of like, not a joke book, but like, it's fun. People that in the programs, you know, they laugh, not at it, but with it. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, shit, yeah, that's funny as hell. Like, some of the things you had in there. So what's this one about? Because it's been 4 years since you released that one. What's this one?
Well, before we get to the book, let's talk about, thank you. Let's talk about, you know, certain progress that I made since then, right?
Yeah, because how many? You got 5 years now.
Yeah. I just celebrated 5 years, August 14th.
Congrats.
My grandmother's birthday. May she rest. Thank you very much, brother. Yeah, man, a lot has occurred since I've been on here. I don't know if I had any certifications, you know, when I was on here, right? But
you got RCP, CRSS, NAMI, author.
Yeah, facilitator. All right. So the RCP is the recovery coach professional from CCAR out of Connecticut. You got to love that community. If you don't, that's on you. If you want to be a national recovery coach, and what that means is anything that's the United States. So we talk Puerto Rico, we talk Hawaii as well, and I think U.S. Virgin Islands. Like if you have this certification and accreditation, you can set up shop anywhere in the United States, anything that's considered U.S. territory. So
cool.
Yeah, it is cool. That's that. I have my CRSS from Alabama because when I lived in Georgia, I was going to get the certification from Georgia. And honestly, people from the Georgia Council for Recovery was like, you don't really need it. If you want it, you can get it. But everybody knows you. You know what I mean? The network is there. Everybody knows you. Everybody know your walk. Everybody know what you're talking about. It's lining up CBT, DBT, recovery. You know, you don't really need it. So I didn't get it. But then I want to move in here and get married, right?
Congrats.
And
look at there.
Third one.
Third one?
This is my third. I had to look up, man, because yeah, I definitely was like, I'm good on that. And I found a woman that is my equal. Long story short, I love her.
Get there. We'll catch up with that too. Okay, so you're in Alabama, so you get the CRSS, right?
The CRSS comes from the Alabama Department of Mental Health, and they're not as big. We're not as big as other states, but we're growing. You know what I mean? And I think out of the whole state, maybe 1,000 people have that certification. And the thing about it is very few men have that certification.
Okay.
You know, they let us know during training, and I'm into numbers. You know, I'm like, yo, how many of us? And I got the number. How many men? Oh, it's probably like 10%. So throughout the whole state, there's probably 60 men who has the CRSS, which is Certified Recovery Support Specialist. So that's that. And then I'm also a NAMI member. I've become a NAMI member. That's what the NAMI is, you know, and that's definitely an international organization that's speaking about mental health. That's the National Alliance on, National Alliance of mental illness.
Yeah.
You know, so that's international. That's more than nationwide, right? And it's really cool because the specific accreditation that I have is sharing your story with law enforcement, but there's an acronym to that, right? There's initials or abbreviate. What do you call it when it doesn't spell the word? It doesn't spell a word, but it's abbreviations for the first letter. You know, I get brainy, right? Because NAMI.
You made me think of acronym, but it's definitely not an acronym.
Yeah, exactly. It's not an acronym. It's not.
Yeah.
An acronym, right?
Either way, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's not on the test. It's not on the test this week.
Not on the test, but come to find out, you know, they don't have many NAMI members where I'm at. I've yet to reach out to the local community. Let me double back. Okay, so I have the NAMI. I'm a NAMI member, and the accreditation that I have is to speak directly to law enforcement when they are doing crisis intervention training, CIT. So I share my story as a person who is diagnosed with multiple mental health illnesses, and I'm in recovery. So we call that co-occurring, right? Okay. Police officer, I mean, they're learning how to do it state to state, but you know, as far as the approach of someone who may be in crisis, how do I approach that? Am I reaching for my gun? Am I reaching for my taser? Or am I reaching for a conversation? You know what I mean? So people like myself, while they're in training, I'm able to share my story from this perspective, you know, and say these are the experiences that I had during the times that I was mildly in crisis. And facilitation. I've been doing facilitation now for 4 years. So the first professional job that I got was at New View Wellness, and they gave me the run. They said, look, that's when, you know, the book came out popular, and they was like, look, we like your stuff. We want you over here. And I, interview, or what you got for us? I'm like, well, you interview with me. What you want me to do? It's like, no, I said, don't worry about it. I'll build a whole curriculum. And I did. And everybody in each cohort was co-occurring. Really extreme cases in there. You had people that had body dysmorphia, and they would have They would have episodes during the class. You know what's so cool about a situation like that? Really cool. Everybody up in there the same. So everybody up in there ain't. I'm sitting at the whiteboard. I'm doing what I'm doing, and let's say JD, he has an episode. He has body dysmorphia. You know what I mean? He's going through his thing, and everybody just looking. Then when it's over, JD, you good? What you need? Boom. No judgment. No, this dude is weird. None of that. We all the same, right? So that was the first job that I had. I loved it. And then I got tapped to work at the nonprofit, the Davis Direction, that is known as The Zone in Marietta. When I got tapped for that job, I did the social media, and I also relaunched their reentry program. And they have 40 lessons, but 10 of the lessons I couldn't touch, and that was Dave Ramsey's financial program that he has. Okay. But everything else I was able to do over, right? So I rewrote 30 lessons, you know, and that was approved by the DA's office because before I came on board, they already had that relationship. And then I guess they didn't have anybody for a couple of years with the acumen, you know what I mean? That can really get the graduation numbers up like it should be, and whatever additional benefits would come from those graduates. So that's the facilitation part. Second time author. Okay, here we go.
So when you were on last time, you were engaged or just got married?
Brother.
That was number two.
That was number two.
That was number two. And I was in a meeting center at the time.
Okay.
I was in that meeting center that I was running. That nonprofit meeting center. Yeah. And that went under because of non-funding.
Yep.
And then I moved my studio because I was working from there also I ended up getting a job working from home in January 2022 for a hospital system doing scheduling full time. And I ended up making that I ended up making that in my studio so that I could be in the meeting center, in the studio, and work from there all at the same time. Makes sense. And then we ran out of funding to keep that building open. So I moved everything into my house, in my apartment. And then that we lived in a second-story apartment, and my wife's MS, it just got way too bad to get up and down the steps. And luckily we found an apartment, double the price, but it's 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, like 3 full bathrooms, bro.
Okay. What?
Like
full bathrooms?
Like over there, that's a full bathroom in my office.
Okay.
That's a shower and a toilet and everything.
Not the 2.5 that you normally get.
Yeah, I work from in here. This is my office where I work from, and this is where I podcast from. This is where I'm gonna do my NA meetings in here. I do NA 7 days a week at 9 p.m. And you know, I'm in here a lot. So, and then my wife, you know, has the master bathroom part of our bedroom. That's their bathroom, and then our 11-year-old has his own bathroom. You know, we don't gotta fuck with 11-year-old's bathroom being all dirty and shit. So he's got his own, and we have an elevator in here. So if my wife's power chair, you know, not in our apartment, but in the building, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
In the apartment building, yeah. No, not that fancy, bro. Not that fancy.
I was like, yeah, he came up in Pennsylvania. Where that at? Elevator inside.
The electric's included in here, so we can run the AC all day long and not pay any extra for it. Yeah, so, you know, there's a lot of benefits to being in here. Since we last talked, my dad passed away. He got stage 4 cancer. He passed. I relapsed when that happened. And then I got back on the right track again. And then I quit smoking cigarettes. And then I relapsed again on Xanax. And 9 days later, I overdosed and ended up in a psych ward.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was last December.
Okay.
Now my new clean date is December 5th, 2024. And
respect on that.
Yeah, I still don't fuck with opiates. You know what I mean? I still don't touch opiates, still haven't touched alcohol in 5.5 years. I don't smoke weed anymore, you know, nothing like that. I quit smoking cigarettes January 1st. I haven't had a cigarette in 8 months. I know. No vape, no cigarette, no nicotine gum, no nothing. Yeah. I even quit drinking coffee. I was drinking like 14 cups a day. Respect. And I quit that shit.
I'm up back about 2. I don't do bad on coffee. I don't do bad.
I used to do a lot of coffee, a lot of creamer.
Yeah,
and I quit that too. So, you know, quitting a lot of things, that's all. And trying to get my health back on track. So that's a little spiel on where I'm at now. Wife number 2 for you. Now that was when you were in Georgia.
Yeah.
And so update. Can you cool with updating me on that?
Of course.
All right,
So,
go ahead.
Oh man, God is I love my God, man. I love my God because it's really amazing when you start to walk and you start to understand what's happening in your life, right? And when you understand what's happening in your life, it seems like, at least for me, my scope widens, right? So initially, I took the situation because what happened was some foul stuff. Long story short, you know what I mean?
You just said what happened was. That's the best
What
part.
happened?
That's the best part of any story, Jeff. Is what happened was.
You know what I mean? What happened was her children didn't like me, right? Move in with this woman. Wasn't even gonna move in with this woman. Moved in with this woman. Grown son there, right? That's his business. It's our business, right? Then the other son come. They're doing drugs. Long story short, the last one I was there, big behemoth. And me and him was super cool, really intelligent. He relapsed. He went to go see his homeboys back in his home state, wherever that's at. And then he his baby mama was living with us. It was only a 2-bedroom, right? So when I moved in, it was her first son, her youngest son living there. Had a couple of little girlfriends come through. He linked up with this white South African who's here on visa. He wound up linking up with this girl. He wound up getting her pregnant. She wound up moving in with us. We hearing arguments every day. Bruh, I had 2 arguments with this woman during the whole time that we were together. And I ain't talking about lose my mind or her lose her mind. I'm talking about like yelling at each other and then bringing it down. That was our level of communication. Those guys every single day. So they wind up moving out, whatever. The other one, he winds up moving in. He goes home. He relapses. Now, while he relapses, his baby mama's with us. He sends her a text message. And she's like, this don't read well. Read this for me. That N got to get out of there, trying to destroy my family. She's like, what is he talking about? So I'm like, I don't know. So then my ex-wife, she winds up coming home. The girl shows her that, and she was like, oh, he's talking about Jeff. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Me and this guy, before he went out there, we're vibing. You know what I'm saying? He went back to school. He in college and all that. He vibing. Baby mama, can I move her in? Yeah, bro. Yeah. He was an RN. So I was like, you in Georgia. Moving your family here, that'd be a good look. Everything was good. But that boy, he went there. He relapsed. He came back home on some stuff. When he walked in the door, his whole body was sweating. Next thing I know, he's like, yo, you got to move out. I said, bro, he's like, oh, because of you, my brother had to move out. I said, wow, you've been with us for a minute now. You holding resentment. We had a whole conversation about this. I said, so then I have a conversation with her, and I'm like, look, I put my hands on your son. I'm going to prison. I don't care that he's bigger than me. I don't fear any man. I don't want to touch your son. He's obviously high. You know what I mean? He needs to calm down. So for like 3 days, there's tension in the house. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's tension in the house, right? And he saw a little pocket knife that I had on the dresser. He tells his mom, and I told him I'm gonna stab him. You know what I mean? So like it gets to the point. It got to the point. This is no exaggeration. It got to the point where I literally walked out.
Yeah,
I walked out with the clothes on my back.
Yourself, bro.
This phone was on. This phone was that's my baby. This phone was on. We lived on the 2nd floor. I took the steps. I was calling my mother to tell her, what was going on. By the time I got out the door, they had shut my phone off. Right? My Amazon account. Couldn't get in my Amazon account. Can't get the royalty. Like, yeah. It was a lot of stuff going on. Royalties from the book. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, I had to leave. Me and her was okay. You know what I mean? But I had to leave. I married her because I thought it was what I was supposed to do. That's why I married her. Came from the treatment facility. I didn't graduate. I had to leave early, right? And I told her, here, this is where I want you to take me. No, move in, vibing. I got the, you know what I mean? Not this book, but I got in my heart, sober slogans in my heart. You know, I'm like, now that I live with you, you know what I mean? This is what I'm gonna be doing, because I ain't even asked to live with you, but you're gonna give me some time to finish this book, Sober Slogans. You know, and if you don't want to do that, then that's good. But this is in my heart. I got to do this. Went through that. We wound up getting married. You know, she was on the show with me probably, 2-3 times, whatever.
Yeah. She was, yeah.
You know what I mean? And
wait, I don't even think. Remember her name? Danielle?
Sarah.
I don't know why I thought Danielle. Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Go on, Sarah. Okay.
Yeah. You know, and the way I initially looked at it, I did a TikTok. You saying your TikTok when I did that TikTok from the motel room, that was the most, you know what I mean? But the overwhelming love that I got, but it was like, bro, it was crazy. You know what I mean? The most I ever got, because I don't have a lot of followers on TikTok, right? But it was the most, that I ever got on there, and it was engagement for what I was going through.
Oh, so that video I showed you, that's not my most watched. That's my proudest one that I made.
That you made, okay.
Editing wise, editing wise and shit. And the song I picked and everything, that's my most proudest one that I ever made. But anyway, so in a motel room, you made a TikTok about what was going on, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Made TikTok about what was going on, trying to figure out, what do I do now? Like, are you kidding me? I'm literally married to this woman. You know what I mean? And I told her, I said, you want to choose your children over me? I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? Ain't like we've been together 15 years or anything like that. I'm very fluid, man. I mean, I've been through a lot of things, been in a lot of different types of relationships. As long as we communicate, we good, right? So she was like, I ain't going, throw your stuff out, this, down, the third. I was like, all right. So, man, I wound up coming back with police to get my stuff. And they're looking at me like, this dude got balls, because she knew I had warrants. Now, I'm in recovery. I'm done. But I was in the treatment facility about 3-4 months. Now, that's going to come up. I'm going to deal with these warrants. But this is what I'm doing right now.
Oh, wait. So, wait. So, let me get this straight then. You hit up the cops to take you back to go get your shit while you were in a treatment facility.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. So from the motel, that's when I got tapped to work at the Zone.
Okay.
Because when I was living with her, I was working at the New View Wellness.
Okay.
So now I ain't got no ride. It was hers. You know what I mean? And it's like, what am I going to do next? So I'm like, all right, Marietta, let me go back to Cobb County. Right. And the people that worked there, I knew the program director that worked there, and he was like, bro, come over here. I got you. We'll set you up for a month, right? With the partners that we have right down the block. Like, it's an 8-minute walk. All right. We'll take care of that for about a month, 2 months free. Day one, you start working, you get paid. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be okay, Jeff. Don't worry about it. I ran with it. Loved the experience, loved the people. Just was on the phone earlier with some of the people from there. You know what I mean? They love me. They miss me. It is what it is. I ran the reentry program and helped a lot of people there and received a lot of help and a lot of love. So that's my forever community right there. But that was a ramification of what transpired there, but notice the blessing that occurred. Okay, 2 months, 3 months go by. I'm working. She puts in a fake domestic just so it could trigger the warrants.
Your warrants.
I guess. And I was getting little cryptic messages from both of her sons. You know what I mean? Like, your move, next move. Like it's a chess game. Man, I wrote one of her sons. He blocked me after this. The one that originally lived with us, the younger one, Carrie. And he was like, checkmate. Something stupid. You know what I mean? Before. All right. So I was like, checkmate. Bro, I'm from the streets. For real. So I said, oh, this dummy. He telling me something getting ready to happen. I'm going to be on point. I ain't worrying about it because I haven't been checkmated yet. You know what I mean? I'm in the bathroom at the job. Come back from the bathroom. Mind you, even before that, police and the place where I worked at, they have a long-standing healthy relationship. So it's not uncommon to come outside, go over there where you smoke a cigarette, and you see 2 police cars. It's not uncommon. So on this night, there were 2 police cars. I'm sitting back, I'm on the phone, I'm chilling, deucing them, you know what I mean? Whatever. Come back from the bathroom, they're coming in. I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? I'm the lead man during that shift. And I got somebody working with me at the desk. And they're like, Mr. Vickers. I'm like, yeah, y'all know it's me. Like, but Jeffrey Vickers? I'm like, yes, sir. All right, put your hands behind your back. Bruh. I'm like, bro, stop playing with me, man. I ain't got time for no games, right? And I'm getting ready to sit. I'm dead serious. I'm like, stop playing with me. I ain't got no time for games. And I'm getting ready to sit back down at the desk, and dude was like, nah, Mr. Vickers was serious. I looked at the two. I said, hold up. You know me, bro. Like, how many times have you come in here? I specifically spoke to you one time when we had an incident. He said, I know you, bro. He said, but let me tell you something, man. You got some warrants, bro.
Why do you keep getting arrested by people that know you? You keep getting arrested by people that already know you, Jeff. Every time I talk to you, you tell me people that know you arrest you.
Like, bro, at least the people that when they arrest me that know me, they don't do me dirty. You know what I'm saying?
I know, yeah.
You know how they get with them cuffs. You know what I mean? At least I ain't get all that, right? They ain't cuffed in the front.
I once had to ride for 45 minutes to the police station with my hands behind my back in the back of a cop car.
Bro, that
45-minute police ride.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Nah.
I'm like, please get me from the front. Yo, we got you, right? But okay, but why? This is what the dude said. He said, I'm gonna be honest. Even when I got in the car, he did it. He said, I'm gonna be honest. We called to see if they really want you because we know who you are. He said, but I'm gonna call again. While I was in the car, he called and he was like, yo, we got him in the car, but do y'all really need him? You know what I mean? And told him, he's like, he works for a nonprofit. We know this guy in my face while I'm in the back. And he was like, yeah, you got 4 warrants. We want that guy. And they're like, yeah, he got 4 warrants. We want that guy, right? So I'm like, what the? And then it clicked. It said,
checkmate.
Huh?
Didn't the checkmate hit you?
Yeah, it clicked. I said, oh, really? I said, all right, cool. So then when I get there, now he tells me, so now we can tell you why.
Yeah.
He said, you know somebody named Sarah Vickers? That's all I had to hear. And then he gave me the paperwork. Fake paperwork about it. Bruh, literally, I didn't even leave Cobb County. Like when I had finally made it to Cobb County, I'm working every day and then I go right home. I'm working every day. I go right home. My weekends, I'm chilling. I'm in a sober living environment. And then on the weekends, I even go there because where I worked at is like a community center for people in recovery. So even on the weekends, I go. I didn't even leave the county except that one time I paid a guy to take me there, right? And then got a police escort upstairs. That was the only time she saw me. But they were so pissed that my nuts are so big, right? And while having 4 warrants, I got a police escort. Like, bro, when I tell you, when police knocked on the door first, he was like, yo, stand over there. It was 2 of them. Stand over there. It was like, all right, police knocked on the door. So then when they opened the door, like, and I stuck my head out, and her son and both of them, bro, they looked at me like, this, he's a real one. Because they both knew I had warrants. And they like, oh, wow, it's like that. So I guess that really rubbed them the wrong way. That was the last time I saw her. So now I'm reading this.
Well, I mean, are they still getting high? Are those kids getting high, you think?
What I do know is if nothing changes, nothing changes.
So, because imagine, now I'll put myself in their shoes. Imagine I'm not sure what their DOC was or is, but say it's an upper, especially if it's okay. So say they're doing an upper. Mm-hmm. Uppers tend to make somebody putting them in psychosis or paranoid. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, they're getting loaded, and the cops knock on their door, and they're paranoid. Oh fuck! What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And next thing you know, your little ass walks through the door.
Well, it was hilarious, bro. He was like looking like. She didn't get high, right? She used to be an alcoholic. By the time I met her, she was
sober, right?
Huh?
She was sober, like in the program.
Yeah, she was sober. She was sober. But her son, he didn't look high at the moment, but they were both so shocked, And again, I feel like they felt like, oh, really? You know what I mean? And I'm like, what? I wasn't supposed to come get my clothes? They stole stuff from me. There were certain things that I purchased, but on her Best Buy card. You know what I mean? My microphone, my computer, all of that. They just like immediately, it was like they already had it planned. I'm like, yeah, let me get my clothes. You know what I mean? I stood right there and she's like, here you go. And he's like, here you go. And I'm like, you know, I got other stuff in there. Oh, no, Ma, go get the receipt. I ain't even get a chance to say it. Ma, go get the receipt. And showed the police that all of my stuff. And we had 2 desks because she worked from home and I worked from home.
Yeah, I remember you worked from home too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we had 2 desks, right? And I'm like, yo, officer, look at all the computers on that desk and look at the computer and all my stuff. That's obviously my stuff. But she showed the receipt and it was purchased in her name. I'm like, but that's my wife. But the receipt shows, you know, her, what do you call it? Her maiden name. Yeah. I'm like, look at the date we've been. I said, you know what? Keep it.
Fuck it.
Keep it. Don't even worry about it, right? So, you know, I want to get arrested, go to Cobb County. That's when he shows me the folder, and I'm like, bro, I literally haven't seen this woman for 2 months. After that, it was like 2 months after I seen her with the police. I was like, wow, that's how they doing me? No problem. Perspective is everything. Affirmations, bro. I speak about that situation in this book, actually. I really do, right? So, affirmations. I was in 3 different counties. One of the counties dropped the misdemeanor on me. Had they not did that, it would have been a mandatory felony. 4 shopping misdemeanors, you know, turned into a felony. So God blessed me because I was jugging. Those crimes occurred during COVID.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was going bonkers on COVID. I was dressing up like I worked at Target. Let's get it. I need all of the tablets. I need all of anything I could touch. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, it was, what was it? Why am I drawing a blank? I'll remember in a second, right? But during that time, we were jugging for these particular products, I remember. And the police that came to my house while I was smoking a blunt and said, oh, the Fitbit watches. Yes, because we had plugs. I had 3 different pawn shops who were selling stuff to India and Africa and on eBay. Okay. So we was slashing, you know, definitely gang affiliated back then still, you know, so all the bloods.
When you were still in active use?
Yeah, I was in active use. So the crime that I had the warrants for was the shoplifting of Fitbit watches at different targets throughout Georgia. Yeah, that was, you know what I mean? That's what that was about, right? So that's what I did back then. But that's what the warrants were for. And I had 4 warrants. One of the counties did not want me, brought that down to 3. My wife, my soon-to-be wife, I'm saying wife, but I mean, November 1st is you know, what's the day? The 12th, September 12th. Yeah, November 1st, you know, is the wedding, right? But at the time, her and I were together, right? And she got her grandfather to pay for a lawyer for me. So I wound up, you know, I'm presently on probation. Did you know that? I'm on probation in Georgia and in Alabama. Because I live here now, still on probation there. So they transfer it here. So I pay restitution with them and I pay restitution here. But the relationship with the probation officer that I have, never had it a day in my life. Ever. Because while I am on probation, he does give me the respect that I deserve as a professional in the space. You know, and he knows about my certifications and he knows about the re-entry initiative that I started. We could talk about that, you know, and hooking me up with different people and, you know about the book and all that. And he just wants to see me do good.
Yep. Nice.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, you know, you can almost thank them for doing what they did for you because now you're not running from shit.
That's perspective.
You know, now you're not running.
Yeah,
You're cleaning up the mess of, you know, your meat, you know, you clean up behind you. It's like, wait, do you do any step work? Or are you in a program?
Presently, the program that I practice is spirituality. I'm not in a, you know, not in a direct. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I do my meetings online. We get
That's what I mean.
meetings.
Where do you go? Where do you go online?
Online, I like the vibe with Never Alone. I like the vibe
Okay.
with what's the other one? I haven't been on them in a little minute. It's the real popular one, but it don't even come to mind. It's probably been about 1.5 years since I've been on there.
Okay.
Where you could go.
So I do NA online, and my wife does Recovery Dharma online.
She does Dharma? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Recovery Dharma, yeah. And it's pretty high up there too, like on the committee and shit like that, and sets up like, you know, as a higher up on there. But anyway, yeah, so because part of, you know, the step work, and, you know, I went through the steps in AA. I haven't started the steps in NA, if I'm being honest. You know, I go to 7 meetings a week. I host meetings. I co-host meetings. I share in every single meeting. I do this podcast. You know what I mean? Like, I do a lot. So, like, and I've been through steps before. I know what to expect. And part of the steps is clean up the wreckage of your past. And that's what you're doing right now. You're fixing that shit. Before you were running, you know what I mean? And you were hiding. And now you don't have to worry about hiding shit. Nah. That's awesome.
And I appreciate that. Let's look back. Perspective. When I first experienced that situation, my perspective was, I ain't even gonna say the expletives, right? You know, my perspective was bing, 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 right? Revenge, revenge, revenge. That was my perspective. My perspective was, who do these people think they messing with? Like, you don't know me, man. I've been in the streets since I was a jit. Like, we do revenge. It's a sport. Yeah. About 2-3 days later, came to my senses, you know, and it's like, wow. All right, cool. This is what I got to deal with. I'm built for this. What we ain't going to do, right, is put no foreign substances in our body so we could wake up crackhead Jeff / Jedi. That's what we ain't going to do, because I might as well take the phone. It was on at the time, but like I said, she shut it off. I might as well take the phone and go to a Publix, and get probably about $50, $75 and do my, nah, we ain't doing that. And it was that decision that continued to allow me to broaden my perspective on the things that I go through while I'm on this journey. Now I'm talking about where I was then, totally different now, right? My experience since then, I've had so many different experiences that has shown me everything is for my good. I'm gonna say it again. Everything is for my good if I choose to look upon that. If I choose to look at it, if I choose to just look at the surface, let's say, of the situation with her and her son, and I have abandonment issues. I have all kinds of issues, right?
Yeah. The way you grew up, I'm not surprised.
Huh?
The way you grew up, you know, with your grandmom and shit, right? Your parents. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, my mom and my stepdad have been, you know, So abandonment issues, right? So I could, like, you know, and nah, we ain't doing that. Then as time went on, it was like, holy snap. Now I get to deal with that situation, right? And I know I'm gonna be good. And God bless me, because this beautiful woman now that I got, she got her grandfather to cut a check. Now I got a lawyer. And she's the best damn lawyer in Cobb County, because she's, you know, labeled as the recovery lawyer, even though she does other things, right? She was like, Jeff, don't even worry about it. I heard about you. I got you. Like, dead serious. She was like, I heard about you. I got you. She was like, that's when you was getting high, obviously, you know, and she took care of business, and I'm blessed for that. But now
you got a good probation officer too, right? You said.
Yeah. But that's once a month, bruh. I just saw this man 2 weeks ago, literally less than 5 minutes. When I walked in the door and filled out the paperwork, he stuck his head out and he was like, oh, Jeff, what's up? Not Mr. Vickers' name. He was like, oh, Jeff, what's up? He's like, hurry up with the paperwork. I'm getting ready to go lunch. Like, that's it. And then I tried to talk to him. He was like, I'll see you next month, Jeff. I'm going to lunch. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I got my business card. I gave him the business card. He was like, what happened to the book? I said, the next time, I promise you, all right, in October, you'll have a copy for yourself. But I gave him, you know, my business card for the reentry initiative that I started.
Yeah.
But probation ain't bad. He tells me, pay Georgia before you even pay me. How much you owe? Down to $1,500. He's like, yo, knock that out, man. You owe me like $40 a month. You know what I mean? We ain't even stressing you over here. I want you to take care of Georgia so they're not calling me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, I know you're good for the 40 a month, however it rack up. Take care of them first, then take care of me.
Now,
He's like,
let me ask you this, because I've gotten jammed up for theft myself back in the day. And since my shit was that time I got arrested with my hand, like I said, 45-minute car ride, my hands behind my back, that was for theft. And since it was theft and not drug related, I wasn't drug tested. Now, you're not drug tested, are you?
Currently, no.
No, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, because it's not drug related. So nice thing is, so when I got all jammed up.
More money you gotta pay.
What's that?
I said that's more money you gotta pay. I'm a piss clean regardless.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So more money. You know what I mean?
Well, I wasn't gonna piss. I mean, I would have pissed clean then because I was just being safe. I had a prescription for Oxy, so if they would have drug tested me, I would have passed because I would have had my prescription for Oxy.
Copy
so
that.
You know what I mean. And so anyway, I got that theft, and they gave me community service and probation, and it was a year of probation. And what happened was I finished my community service within 2 months. I found this VFW hall, and I would go in there on Saturday and Sundays like 8 a.m. and I would clean up around the bar, and I would mop and do all that shit. And the dude would write me down 8 hours each time, even though I was only there 2 hours.
Yeah, that's nice.
And he would hook me up. And so I got that done really fast. And then the restitution I owed was $4,300. Okay. And my grandmother was like, I'll pay that and just pay me back. So I paid my grandma gave me a check. I paid it on my first time there. Restitution was done. So I got off probation within 4 months instead of a year because my probation officer's like, I don't need to see you every month because you're not a drug addict. You're not here for drugs. If you were here to get piss tested every month, then you're just jamming me up. You're holding up my line. You're a first-time offender, and your restitution's paid off. Your community service is done. I got nothing to hound you on, so I'm just going to send a letter to the judge and knock you off at 4 months. Wow. I said, okay, like that, like done. So and then I paid my grandmother back over time, and that was straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, that's Hall of Fame. That's Hall of Fame. That's Hall of Fame. Numbers right there. 4 months instead of a year. But it's interesting because you mentioned the community service. I forgot about that. So I wound up getting 5 years and a certain amount hours of community service. I think it was 120. But where I worked at, we did community service.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Come on, bro.
That's
true.
What I
mean? And the supervisor, the program director, that was my homie. You know what I mean? I take lunch, every, you know what I'm saying? Because it had to be clocked in. It's like this shit is official. Still had to be clocked in. So I'd clock out with my number and then clock in with my community service badge. I did it right where I worked at. So I was good. Okay. But that's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, it don't even feel like I'm on probation. It's no hassle. I've been on probation before and I've been on parole. I've definitely been on parole. It's no hassle.
I know you have.
Yeah. There's no hassle, man. I ain't even worried about none of that.
Wait, let's see if I remember. How much total time did you do in jail? 17 years?
16. Yeah. Hey, you good.
Man, 16. I was so close, man.
Good. You good. 16.
So close.
Oh, man. Perspective.
Close to the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Close to the 90s.
90 to 92, 93 to 96, and 99 to 2008.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, man. And then that 10-year bid, it was really a 15-year bid because it was 10 in and then 5 on parole. I didn't violate parole. I was on parole in Fulton County, the worst county in Georgia.
Yeah.
But I didn't violate. I had 2 POs. It was crazy cool. I had to drive down there. That was a little drive. And, of course, piss test and all that and the money, but I didn't violate.
No, wait. So let me just catch it because we never talked about much. If you don't mind, just give me a second here. And if you don't want to talk, we don't got to talk. But when you were going to Fulton, is that prison down there from New York City? Did you have to go? You got jammed up in New York, but you had to serve time in Georgia?
No.
Okay.
I got transferred to Georgia. Oh my God. I got transferred to Georgia because I moved to Georgia with my first wife. I moved to Georgia with my first wife. After I did the 10 years, I was like, yo, I got to get out of here. But she
that's
did.
who you got a kid with, right?
Huh?
That's who you got a kid with. I know you got
my
your,
two
your daughter, right?
Okay. My daughter, I have a trans daughter.
Your trans daughter, I knew that one.
That's from back then. Yo, she just copped out the 4 years, man. Yeah. Loaded weapon, strangulation, a couple other things. Just, I love my little baby. I love my little baby.
Daughter, like father, like daughter.
So that was, I had her when before her transition in 99.
Yeah.
And that's why her mother was so upset, because she was like, you left me with 2 kids, with the kid you helped me raise, who's 4, and now this brand new baby, right? So I wound up doing 10 years. I met my first wife when I was in prison, and she used to bring the kids. You know what I mean? The one that I raised, my stepson and my boy, but then my baby mama, she didn't like it anymore. Like I don't know, like she's doing better than you. I'm like, she's just bringing the kids, whatever. So she cut me off from that. And as soon as I came home, I moved to Georgia. She had moved to Georgia before me, set up shop for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Then I wanted to move into Georgia because I was going to get back into the music business. That's specifically why. So my logic was, Georgia's hot, right?
Yeah.
As far as music, I'm going to get back in music, and we are an interracial relationship, interracial couple. So that's the only thing I thought of when I was in prison. Let me get back down there. They're not going to, they good with interracial, right? And I got to get back into this music business. I got my people.
They're good with interracial.
Because that was my first interracial. I've never been with a white woman before her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like relationship, even though it was in prison, But yeah, that was that. And I had already had Bree. Bree wound up moving in with us within the first couple of months of me.
Where did she get jammed up at? In Georgia or in New York?
In New York.
Damn. So she has to do time in New York?
Yeah.
And she has to go to a men's?
She she got to go to a men's because she's pre-op.
Yeah, she's pre-op,
And she'll be in a medium facility though.
Okay. All right, cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She'll be in a medium, like.
Well, I've had before your first episode, I had this the girl Jill on. I met in LA in AA. And she's trans in her late 40s. And when she first transitioned, she was in her early 40s, and she got jammed up and had to serve time in LA County in the men's, but they put her in the gay block, and she was protected more there because there was other trans women in that block with her. So, and I my wife's non-binary. I have a trans stepdaughter, you know what I mean? So, like, I know all about it, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Really supportive.
You know what it is. Yeah, they put her in PC. She's like, I want to go to Gym Pop.
Yeah. Nah.
You don't want to go to Gym Pop. In Albany County Jail. And the interesting thing is, I was in Albany County Jail, and her mama was in Albany County Jail. We were in Albany at the same time on 2 different cases. So I was like, I know Albany County. You know what I'm saying? Go to PC. I said, you go to Gen Pop, it's over. It's every day. And she's not afraid to fight.
I believe it.
She's definitely not afraid to fight. And she's like, Daddy, I can handle myself. I said, but that ain't the point. You want to do a smooth bid.
Yeah.
You want to do a smooth bid. So you got to start getting into the mind frame. What does a smooth bid look like? I want to go home in 4 years. Huh?
How old is she? 20, 21, 22?
23, 24.
Okay.
What, 99? She was born in 99? What's that?
Oh, 26.
Yeah, 26. Yeah. She be all right.
All right, yeah.
I'm a supporter. I'm going to be there for her, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to definitely go visit her. Now I'm definitely going to New York. I go without saying.
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And plus she's got, good looking up to it with you, who has been there and done that, and her mom been there too, got plenty. So, and you're not going to just abandon her.
It's never that. The biggest thing is that I'm happy about She's not gonna go to a maximum facility. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. A lot of people don't, if you ain't do a bid, you don't know the difference. In
Yeah.
New York, you have Supermax, you have Max A, you have Max B, you have medium. No, it's B and then A. It's B and then A. It's Supermax, maximum, medium B, medium A, and a minimum. There's levels. You know what I mean? Even if she starts off in a medium B, which is one shot down from a max, she got to do something insane for them to take it to the max, right?
Yeah.
And as long as she does it, she's in a max B. As long as she does right, there's a chance she'll go to a medium B. There's a chance she'll go to a medium A. And you ain't got no fences in a medium A.
Oh, nice.
Oh, no, it's sweet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mediums are sweet in comparison to maxes anyway. A medium B, you probably get an outside job and the mentality. And that's what I told her. I said, you gotta look at the mentality. If you're in a maximum facility and 70% of the dudes there have 5 years and more, we ain't really, just 5 years and more, let alone all the dudes that really got a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
You have a different mentality. It's strict survival.
Yeah.
Like there's so many times I'd be on a line to line up for programs or go to work, whatever. Quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly. I literally in the 10 years that I did, during that 10 year, 2 different occasions, a dude next to me got stabbed up and his blood got splashed on me. Well, one time the dude got cut, and that's why he turned around like this, and I was like,
yeah.
Right? And then the other time, dude got stabbed up, ran down the joint. He ran down the hallway, touched me, blood and all that. But I saw the stab. And it's just like, she don't have to worry about none of that.
Yeah.
You're in a medium. Everyone has what I say is your due date's in sight. It's right here. You can see it.
Yeah.
Look on that calendar. You know what I mean? Might not be this year, but if you flip that calendar a couple times, okay, that's when I go home. So the mentality is not about yourself. All that nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
Well, one more question about her, then we'll bounce back to where we were. Because it isn't about her, but I'm just curious. Is she doing anything with drugs or is she clean?
Well, she's clean now.
Nice,
she
okay.
Lived the life.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All of that. She lived the life, but she's a trans. You know what they do.
Yeah,
some of them. You know what I mean?
Some of them, yeah.
And other things that come with that lifestyle, right?
Yeah,
so
100%.
Definitely, and she has an opportunity. And I'm not saying that she was out there smoking crack, nothing like that, right? But she, you know what it is. She lived that life, right?
Get her on my show when she gets out. Get her on my show when she gets out.
I love that. I'm gonna try to indoctrinate her ass while she's in there. Like, Daddy, I need your new book. You need both of them.
Yeah. So anyway, now you moved to Alabama. What was the big reason to move to Alabama? Her, yeah, she moved to Alabama.
She's from this my bad. This is Nicole Watson.
Now, how'd you meet Nicole?
She called me up one day.
What?
Like, I'm dead serious, right? But she called me up. She was following me for a little time on social. She happened to see me speak because her recovery journey started in Atlanta, right?
Okay.
She's one of those 30, 40 treatment facilities, psych unit women, people, us, you know what I mean? I could have been admitted just as many times, right? But that's her story. And she did, her journey started in Atlanta.
She needs to be on my show then too. I said she needs to be on my show.
I'll ask her.
Yeah.
I'll ask her. I don't have a problem asking her, right? But she's a resource queen. She's the plug for resources. You know, she's the type that probably wouldn't get on the camera if she, you know what I mean, could avoid it, that type. Or she would have been on many. But that's how I met her. She saw me speak, she was following me and she happened to see me speak in person, and then was like, oh man, he's married. Then was checking me out and was like, oh God, he's not married anymore. And she waited for her opportunity and she caught me and I was like, bro, I'm just going through this with this situation over here with this woman. I ain't really looking for nothing. Plus you in another state, but let's vibe, man. Can I get some positive feminine divinity in my life?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess we vibe kind of well. I never thought in a million years that I'd be in an interstate relationship. I was going on Greyhound, seeing all that, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? It really did work. It worked a hell of a lot. We got a chance to know each other. You know, I'd come, she come, you know.
You got kids?
Yeah. My
Older?
stepdaughter, Sophia, is 9 years old.
Okay. That's a lot easier. It's a lot
Yeah.
easier for you.
Huh?
A lot easier for you.
That's my baby. I love her so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she has 7 years in recovery.
Okay.
Opioids or DOC.
That's me. I got
Right?
7 years. I got 7 years from opiates.
Okay.
April 25th, 2018.
Salute. That ain't no joke. I've been around it my whole life. No joke. No joke. I'm not gonna say I'm surprised I didn't get addicted, right? But I'm just a loyal person. All right. My heart is loyal. If you ain't talking cocaine, you ain't talking crack cocaine, I'm good. Like even other uppers, I was like, no, that's just not what I like. Right. So yeah. Which I kind of like that about me, that God designed me like that.
Yeah.
It might sound weird, like, huh?
No, my best friend loved my best friend loved shooting dope and smoking crack.
Yeah, the 8-ball. What is that? Not 8-ball. Yeah, 8 balls, right?
Speedball.
Saying 8-ball. The speedball version.
8-ball is the amount you buy.
Exactly.
8-ball.
Yeah, at 3.5, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was her thing, right? And I was definitely like, I like her. I like her spirit. I like her fight. She makes me fucking laugh. I like her, right? Yeah. But professionally speaking, for a couple of years, she was the program director of A New Beginning, which was like over 20 years old here in Alabama. And she was doing that for about 2 years. She recently got tapped. She recently got tapped to be the 211 partnership director of United Way.
Right.
That's major.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I said, she's the resource queen because that's what she does. You know, 211 partnership, you know, is for people who are in need of resources within the community. And she is, yeah, she just got the job actually a couple of months ago. It's demanding, it's challenging, it's fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, totally different environment for her, an environment that I knew she would rather have. You know what I mean? And she's been doing quite well with that. So I'm very proud of her. Tomorrow, she actually has her table set up at the event. I think this is the 4th annual event here in Alabama for recovery on the river.
Okay.
Oh, man. So they line up. I'm going to have my videos and all that, but they line up along the bank. And it's people, entities, organizations from Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi. You know, and I'm on the whatchamacallit, organization team, whatever. You know what I mean? That's staff, right?
Yeah.
And it's sponsored by Shoals Inspire. Shoals is short for Muscle Shoals, which is one, you know, area out here. I'm in a Tuscumbia Muscle Shoals, Florence area is where I live at. But tomorrow they got the 4th annual one on the river. I'm very excited. I was supposed to have my table up, but I didn't organize accordingly, so I'm good. And what I'm speaking about directly is about my initiative that I started, Colbert County Reentry and Recovery Support Initiative, you know, for reentry. Still in the developmental stages. I have the EIN status, but we're not official.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Got the
That's
status.
a pain in the ass, man.
Yeah, I'm not even worrying about it. It's gonna grow legs and do what it's supposed to do. You know, because anything I do is God inspired. Just being real with you. You know.
So how is Alabama living compared to, you know, you grew up fucking Bronx?
Yeah, Boogie Down.
Yeah, you grew up Coney Island.
The memory's good, man.
Boogie
Down Bronx, not the Bronx. You right?
Bronx. That's what I thought. Yeah. So you grew up in the Bronx in the 80s and shit, you know, and late 70s and all throughout the 80s. So that's a completely different world than Alabama, is it not?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's country, man.
Yeah.
It's country here, you know, but the blessing is I was with her for about 2 years, right? So I'm coming, I'm visiting, and then when it was time, and it was like, hey, maybe we should take this to the next level. What does that look like? And I was doing okay in my career, and she was doing okay in her career, and she does have a network in Georgia. So we contemplated back and forth about it, and I was just like, she was like, the family, and I said, nah, you're right, let's do that. But how does that look like for you? And what you do? I'm gonna get a certification. I'm gonna be Jeff Vickers. You know what I mean? Who don't love Jeff Vickers? Like, I'm not even worried about that. You know what I mean? I'm not worrying about that. Now, what I will say is, since I've been here, is when I got the CRSS since I've been here, and that's been this year. I got that. I think in April or May. But currently, aside from the stuff that I do there, I'm basically a caregiver right now, full time, which gave me for her grandfather.
Oh, okay.
How God lines these things up, because we had conversations, and I was like, it'd be cool if I could take care of your grandfather and I can get back into my zone and create. And I've been able to do that since I've been.
It's the same grandfather that hooked you up with the lawyer.
Yeah, man. Yeah, nice. God is good, bro. God is good. That's my homie. Next week, actually, he turns 91. I'm about to say 61.
91.
He turns 91 years old next week. And I genuinely love this dude, man. When I say genuine, I mean from my heart. I'm here 6 days a week. I'm here 6 days a week. My only day off is Saturday, and I work a half a day on Friday. Today, I'll be working until 9 because nobody's coming in. I'm the 9 to 4, then it's the 4 to 9, then the 9, Oh,
so he's got round-the-clock service.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Hospice and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Bruh, sharp. I need to be that sharp at 91. He still remembers his grandchildren's birthday. He knows most of his great-grandchildren's birth. Like, I'd be like, that ain't his birthday, Papa. You making it up. He'd be like, what are you talking about? And show me on Facebook. Told you that.
He's pulling up Facebook at 91 on you.
On Facebook. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. But me being able to care for him has allowed me the opportunity to finish the book, get my website up. I got about 4 or 5 ebooks on my website that I'm gonna take down and throw back up, and blah, 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 blah. But this opportunity has allowed me to care for him, get paid, and be able to create. Like every step of the way, I'm showing him, and he's just like, you really about your business, dude. Like, he told me that straight up. He was like, you about your business. You say it, you do it. You say it, you do it. And to hear stuff like that come from a 91-year-old, who had his own business. He ran a golf resort or something like that. Like my wife, my Nicole, she basically grew up on a golf resort that her family owned. You know what I mean? So that's the type of life she lived, running around in golf carts and all of that, He, entrepreneur, very intelligent dude. But that's what I've been doing. But
So let's get to the book now, because and not that we have a time limit. I don't have sponsors anymore, bro. I pay $18 a week to run my show now. I don't have sponsors. I don't have nothing. I got 2 shows I run off my channel now. I got this show, and I got another show that I'm 20 episodes in. It's called The Unlicensed Therapist. And I interview people about trauma and PTSD and shit.
Okay, awesome.
So I got 2 shows I run off my channel now, and I run them all through StreamYard. And I do the paid version of StreamYard, and I pay out of pocket for it. And I don't have any sponsors because sponsors get on your ass about this content, and you say this, you say that. Fuck that. No, I rather this is my sober hobby.
No, you paying me for me to allow you space on my platform, not the other way around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you can give me some money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You ain't gonna tell me what to do.
Yeah. So how'd you come up? What was the reason you're like, I'm gonna write a second book? What was that like? What was going to your head?
Let's get into it. Okay. So originally I committed to more than one book in the sober slogans series.
Okay.
I committed to more than one book. So I'm definitely doubling back. Actually, I'm gonna republish sober slogans, right? But what led to the book is me learning how to not be a crackhead anymore on one side, and learning how to tap into the divine energy that exists within me. I have poured hours and hours and hours over different content out there from different mentors, and have come together with a system. Because it's so crazy, because it was like, it wasn't even about the book at first, right? It was about the process. And I was like, if there was a fucking process out there, a blueprint, right, on how to tap into your greatness, what does that look like, Jeff? Believe, behave, become. Bruh. Then I just started putting it out there. I just started saying that on little, you know what I mean? Little hashtag, little believe, behave, become. And I started digging into it and started meditating on it. And I was like, that's the next book. Yeah. And God truly revealed it to me. Believe, behave, become. What they never told you about what? Changing your life. Yeah, what they never told you about changing your life. We come in and recover, and you know it's a recovery book. It's a recovery/mental health book/work book. You're gonna put some work in. We're gonna talk about the mind-body connection. You know what I mean?
You talked about the workbook in your first book, didn't you? You wanted to, no. When I talked to you about Sober Slogans the first time, you said something about, I want to do a book where it's a workbook too.
Exactly. And that was going to be for Sober Slogans. That was going to be the follow-up for it.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah.
But God had put this one on my heart because, again, I've gotten, a little education since then, since I've been on,
of course.
Right? I've learned a hell of a lot. I have facilitated over 500 groups. You know what I mean? I forgot how many cohorts that I had that graduated through my program, and it's time again, right? It's definitely time. So for me, I came in the game talking about the language of recovery. What do we talk about now, right? Let's talk about how do we truly collapse the gap between who I am and who I want to be. How do I get there? How do I get there? How do I truly get there and sustain the change? See, that's the whole thing about it. It is about sustaining this change. It's not about, getting to a point where the change happens, right? And then when life comes at me, now I fold.
Yeah.
Nah, ain't about that. Not for me. We don't fold. Little stumble, thank you for holding me up tight. Yeah, but we're not folding. All right. Your experiences that you've had and the new dates and all that, you ain't fold. Knock it off. You wouldn't be here now. Little stumble, you know what I mean? And as far as I'm concerned, no man is an island. I don't know your story, but I'm sure that, when you had your reuse, however many reuses that you had, you bounced back with the help of community, whatever that looked like for you, because no man is an island, right? But what does lasting change look like? Because I'm just tired of being on a hamster wheel, bro. You understand what I'm saying? That's just for me. I'm tired of being on a hamster wheel. So I learned that one of the biggest desires for newcomers in recovery is wanting lasting change. Lasting change. Wanting to sit back when I'm in a meeting with 18 days and somebody like JD is speaking and he got 4 or 5 years under his belt. How many from the opioids you said?
7.5 almost.
7.5. We talking opioids. All right, cool. And I'm sitting there, I got 18 days under my belt, and then you talking about your 7.5 years, and it's like, damn, how did he develop whatever it was he developed so that he can have that lasting change? 7.5 years of lasting change in that area in your life. So that's what this is about. Okay. For those people who ain't trying to have 30 treatment facilities under their belt and they okay with 21. You know what I mean?
I got this dude Matt on the show. His episode, we're recording it this weekend, but he was on my trauma show already, and I run a speaker meeting. My host speaker meetings every Thursdays on NA on Zoom. I run a speaker meeting, and he's been my speaker. 57 rehabs and 112 hospital and psych ward stays.
Man, it's real, man.
Yep,
it's real.
And now he's a trauma specialist, a trauma therapist in a rehab in Tennessee.
How you don't love that though?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How you don't love that. Never count nobody out. I don't care how many times you relapse, reuse, whatever word we want to use, right?
Yep.
Whatever terminology. I ain't never count none of my people out because I know my story.
Yeah.
For 30 odd years, I know people was counting me out. I counted me out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I counted me out for 30 years, right? Now that I'm here. Yeah, man.
Yes,
now that I'm
did.
here, every single person that's in recovery, man. It's like you want that change. I want to grow the fuck up, man. Huh? I want to grow up and have change and not have to keep worrying about repeating the steps that I've already repeated and repeated. Okay, guess what? There's nothing wrong with what we call failure. All right? There's nothing wrong with mistakes, failure, whatever you want to call it, right? We're experiencing life. So we're going to have to stumble a couple of times to get it right, just like the scientists that we truly are. This is my theory. That's the environment. Let me test my theory against the environment and let me observe the feedback. And once I get the feedback, now I compare the feedback to the theory. And if it lines up, we good. We're all scientists, right? Yeah. I'm tired of having to go back to the field to experience what I have already received the feedback from. You ain't got to go back out there. It's the same shit. Just sit back and go to a newcomers meeting. Ain't nothing new, bro. Right? So it's like, but how, once again, how do we get to lasting change? And for me, bro, here and here, here and here, here and here. And that's what this book is about. This book.
When you start writing it?
You said when?
Yeah, when?
This year. I knocked this book out in like 4 months.
Okay.
Like 4 months. I drilled down and got into it. It ends at 207 pages.
That's not bad.
Nah, it's not bad.
4 months?
It's not bad.
It's 120 days.
It's not
120
bad,
days, 20 pages. You're writing over a page a day.
Bruh. When I tell you that I'm proud of this one, JD, okay? Chapter 1, let me just say the names real quick, right?
Yeah, of course.
The story you tell is the life you live. Chapter 2, you don't see reality, you predict it. Chapter 3, whose beliefs are you living? Chapter 4, belief as energy, not just thought. Chapter 5, faith isn't blind, it's created. 6, your emotions are your guidance systems. 7, your body hears everything that your mind says. 8, behaving like the future you. 9, reclaiming play and creativity. 10, you are not broken, you are becoming. 11, you are the universe, remembering itself. 12, walk like it's already done. And I wrap it up with, you were the blueprint all along. Nice. It is tapping, thank you. It is tapping into all of the information that we see out there about affirmations, about grounded, about using these frequencies, about rewiring our brain so that we can rewire our nervous system, so that we can be in what they call alignment. And once we are in alignment, without us realizing it, we have this particular aura around us that attracts who we become.
Now, Jeff, you're one of the more animated people that have been on my show. Now, are you going to be doing an audio book too with your voice?
Oh yeah, you
better be.
That's interesting. You know who Recovery Mike is? Mike Gleam.
Nah,
you need to have him on the show.
Oh, hook me up.
On the show. Michael Gleam. I definitely will connect y'all. He was just on a live on TikTok yesterday.
You have my cell phone number, right?
Huh? Say it again.
You have my cell phone number? You have my cell phone number? I'll text you my cell phone number.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Yeah. I got Mike's, right? But why did I mention Mike? What did you just say? That made me
about your audiobook.
Yeah. So Mike just did an audio book. He just told everybody yesterday he did an audio book, but he did it with a publisher and it's not in his voice. I'm like, bro.
Nah, I need you to do your voice. Yeah,
you got the voice. Like, I got a voice. Thank you. I'm like, Mike got a voice. I'm like, bro, you got a voice. That shit, you're part of your brand. But yeah, I'm definitely doing it in my voice. Absolutely. I want to read a quick section. Ooh,
yeah, go ahead.
quick section. All right.
And before I forget, I'm texting your ass before I forget too.
Yeah, please do. Chapter 1. I love the fact. Ooh. Let me just get to it. Chapter 1. The story.
0351, Jeff.
Say it again.
0351.
Indeed.
Last 4, 0351.
Yeah. The story you tell is the life you live. All right. It's 6:03 a.m. The mirror is fogged. A sentence lands before the coffee does. Don't get your hopes up. Pause here. Who told you that? Rewrite the script. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, where did I get these thoughts about myself? Not just the loud ones like I mess up everything or I'll never get it right, but also the quiet ones that shape your whole day. I'm not smart enough. I'm just an addict, felon, lost cause. Those thoughts didn't fall from the sky. They were handed to you, some by parents, some by society. But here's the twist nobody tells you. Just because you inherited a story doesn't mean you have to keep it. And I'm going to close with that. That's how it opens. But I'm going to close with that.
Okay.
Every single person in recovery, all right, can be honest with themselves and say there are parts of themselves that were given to them. Here you go. This is who you're supposed to be. This is the attitude you're supposed to have, perspective you're supposed to have. Here you go. And then we continue on our journey called life and don't even question it. We don't even question the belief system that was basically downloaded into us. And that's really cool. But at a certain time in our lives as conscientious beings, right? Some of us have the level of emotional intelligence that we start introspecting who we are.
Yeah.
Especially those of us in recovery. We start looking inside ourselves and saying, well, why am I the way I am, right? And we go to treatment and treatment shows us all these other things. I came to the realization that like we will make up a story about ourselves and then live out the damn story. And ain't that a beautiful thing though? But it's beautiful when you move it from this side of the spectrum to this side of the spectrum. Because if I can make up a story that I am a victim, I am a this, I am a that, and it's all over here on this side of the spectrum, right? Everything that I tell myself, first and foremost, the body hears everything. I don't even have to say anything out loud. And if I have a thought, that thought gets downloaded into my central nervous system. A lot of us are still learning that, right? Yep. But if I tell myself the story that I am unworthy, I ain't nothing more than a crackhead Jeff, huh? If I tell myself that story, what happens is that's the lens that I look at life through. I can't help it. I can't help but look at life through that. And the crazy thing about it is, then the amazing thing about it, we are the only creatures on the planet who can make up a story and then become the protagonist / antagonist / supporting characters.
Yeah.
Right? But we get into recovery, and now it's like, are you going to challenge the story that you kept telling yourself? Because the story you told yourself is the life that you lived. And the reality is, when you really start unpacking a lot of that, it came from other people.
Yeah.
Do I really believe this? It was programmed into me, but this is who I want to be. Check it out. When we get to the point that we want to be something different, someone different, now we can start introspecting. Because as long as I'm crackhead Jeff, there's nothing to introspect. But is this a 3-5 or a 2-5?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna introspect that. Like, did he short me or what? We ain't gonna look within ourselves so that we can be someone better if we don't have those aspirations, right? But when we start what's the word I'm looking for? Revealing. When we start revealing the truth within ourselves, it's a beautiful thing, bro. I'm not talking about anything in this book that's different than what they speak about at the different treatment facilities around this planet and the different modalities that they speak through, right?
Yeah.
We want to be great. We all want to be great. We were born to be great. God's Like God just like, there you go. You got a part of me in you. What you do with it, that's on you. But I suggest you tap into yourself, because if you look into yourself, you're going to find all the answers that you need, because it's never outside of you. But how do we train ourselves to start understanding this? First and foremost, belief. Unpacking the belief system that I have about me and the world, and seeing, is it conducive anymore? I looked at myself like that when I was crackhead Jeff, and it was conducive for that personality, let's say, right? It was conducive for that personality for me to always be on point, neck on swivel, hand on something. I don't have to live that way anymore. But the thing about it, if that's all I know, and I have aspirations to be someone different, someone that I might most likely have seen modeled in real life, and now I have aspirations. Wow, I read this book from this dude, man. You can't be serious. This dude wrote this book while he was in prison, or whatever the situation. Aspiration, feeling that motivation, that spark of something different. When you feel a spark of, now it's time for me to level up and become a better version of myself, how do we get there? What is the process? Everybody got their own little process. My thing is, you got to believe. And the thing about belief, oh Lord, we have to learn how to believe.
Yeah, and believe in the right things too, and the right things that are not just going to benefit us, but benefit others too.
Yeah, 100%. But what is belief? You know what I'm saying? It's like we talk about the, come on, bro. You cannot manifest greatness if you don't believe in yourself unencumbered.
Yeah.
No limitations. I ain't sitting there talking about you going to jump and have a 75 vertical. Nothing crazy. If you 5'3", you know what I mean? But having aspirations within ourselves to be greater. What is the journey about? What is the journey of recovery about? We know it's a journey and it's not a destination, but what am I striving to experience while on this journey? For me, it's always the better version of me. Another version is there. But how do I even get past that initial version of crackhead Jeff? With the treatment, learned this about myself, learned that. But really, how do I get out of me? How do I get out of the current me so I can manifest the next level of me? Once again, we have to learn what belief is about, true belief. And then once we get that true belief under our belt and we start practicing certain things, right, on a daily basis, affirmations, visualization, some do that grounding, all right? Some like myself, look, 5-year veteran meditator. You understand what I'm saying? There are different things that we use within our life so that we can what? Become. But before we become, we have to know that the belief rests in me, not within the system, not within the belief system that my parents downloaded, right? The belief system that got downloaded by society, by none of that. Who am I today? Who am I today? And the beautiful thing about it is, let me tell you what's really beautiful, JD. We have been blessed with the gift of being able to create the version of ourselves that we want.
That's exactly. Yeah. I couldn't agree more, bro. Too, because that's exactly 7.5 years ago, or 7 years and April 5 months ago, 7 years and 5 months ago. I was living in Pennsylvania, in Lancaster County, in Amish country. I'm from New Jersey, right outside of Philly. That's where my accent's from. And I decided to go to rehab for the first time. My choice to go to rehab. Nobody's making me. I'm ready. I'm going. And everyone in Jersey, where I'm from, goes to Florida for rehab. And my mom's like, "Why are you going to Los Angeles for rehab?" And I was like, "Well, I don't want to know anybody."
Okay.
She's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I want to go somewhere where nobody knows me. Or I'm not going to run into anybody that knows me. I'm 31 years old. I have no idea who I am. I got to figure out who I am on my own. And to do that, I got to go there and, figure out my personality again and start completely over from scratch and work on the person I want to be. And to do that, I need to be free of anybody having any kind of preconceived notions of who I used to be.
Yeah.
So by doing that, I need to go somewhere where nobody actually knows me whatsoever."
Yeah, I love that. That's a good daggone strategy.
Yep.
It's a good strategy.
Yep.
Then we get the belief. You get the belief under your belt. What is next? The natural next selection, huh? You start behaving. You start behaving because once I started believing I was crackhead Jeff, I had to start behaving like a crackhead. Come on. I think I'm crackhead Jeff, but I'm gonna behave. Nah. I'm gonna behave in accordance with who I believe I am. It's impossible not, right? So then we start unpacking the connection. I show real quick the mind-body connection, right? You get into recovery a little bit, you start understanding that, but there's levels to that. It is a fact. It is a scientific fact that the thoughts that we have, they travel down that brainstem and hit our central nervous system, right? Those thoughts hitting our central nervous system turns into feelings. Those feelings dominate our body. Now we're in a state. If the feelings that I have are lined up with the thoughts that I have, I am in alignment. And you can be in alignment from a negative perspective or a positive perspective. But once you are in alignment, energy is moving. Energy is moving. And if you're constantly in alignment and the energy is moving, you have no choice but to become.
Yeah, motion creates emotion.
But exactly, but to become whatever that is. And the become part is the manifestation of the thought. It is the manifestation of the thought, because if the thought turns into behavior, and behavior is action, right? And consistent. I ain't talking about once in a while. Consistent thought and behavior with that alignment and that action, what's going to happen? You're going to become something. You're going to become something, bro. Right? So what I'm saying is, if we learn these things and we learn how to drill down certain habits for ourselves on a daily basis, it's inevitable that we're going to become what we put our sights on. We see people who are so successful all around the world and in all kinds of spaces who tell us basically the same thing. Get the brain together and when you get the brain together, you'll get the body together. And as long as you're in alignment with that, you're going to move in that direction. And life has to meet you there. It has to. What do you want to be? What do you want to be? This is the blueprint to true lasting change. Actionable steps. Actionable steps that can be taken every day. And it's written in a way where if you're a facilitator, here you go. You got built-in lessons in there. You understand what I'm saying? 1 second, please. Where's my babe? I thought I'd be on for an hour. I forgot it's me and you. Yeah,
that's the problem with me and you. We don't know how to shut the fuck up sometimes.
Yeah, I'm still on.
Yeah.
But that's what it's about, you know. And let me throw some names out there. I've been throwing some videos, some little stories, but let's throw some names out there. I got a section in here called YouTube Breaks, right? I like to learn in different ways, and sometimes I like to learn in different ways in the same sitting. And what I mean by that is I like to read certain things, and then if I can follow up with a visual aid of what it is that I'm reading, those neural connections, they bind better.
I'm the same way, yeah.
You know what I mean? They bind better, right? So, you know, even though you can't actually see, you know, the video in the book, I reference different videos, and it's called YouTube Breaks. You take a little break, you know what I mean? Watch a little video, whatever. And there's certain people that I mention in here. So we got about 25 YouTube breaks with the different people, you know? But certain people that I mentioned, let me see if you know a couple. Esther Hicks.
I've heard of them.
Lisa Barrett, KRS-One. I mentioned KRS-One. Greg Braden, Brene Brown, Dr. Thema Bryant, Dr. Joe Dispenza, changed my life. Carol Dweck, Masaru Emoto. He's the one who put me on about water crystals and how water has consciousness and why, you know, I have crystals in my water and I drink almost a gallon of water a day, and why I put my headphones on my water and play my affirmations through my water on a daily basis.
Huh.
Yeah, Stephen Furtick, He's a good pastor. Stephen Furtick, I mentioned him. I mentioned Robert J. Gilbert. You familiar with him?
I'm not.
He's next level. Sacred geometry, things like that. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. Dr. Hawkins. You familiar with Dr. Hawkins, right? Okay. Louise Hay.
No.
Louise Hay? No. All right. What about Huberman? Dr. Andrew Huberman. He all on YouTube.
Yeah, of course I know Huberman. I follow his podcasts.
All right.
Yeah, Huberman's all right. Huberman's good, dude.
Yeah. Ice-T, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Carolyn Leaf, Dr. Bruce Lipton. Oh my goodness. The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. Incredible.
I know that one.
All right. Gabor Mate. How you say his name? Gabor?
I don't know that one.
Oh, he's the one. Gabor Mate. You've seen him before. You've seen him. NWA, Tony Robbins, Dr. Shafali, Eric Thomas, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Dr. but his name kills me. But Dr. Coke, The Body Keeps the Score.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Alan Watts. You don't know Alan Watts. I mean, come on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oprah Winfrey. You know what I mean? So those are a couple of the people.
You missed Mike Fiore.
Who?
Mike Fiore. You know Mike Fiore, right?
No, who's that?
Mike Fiore?
He's Mike. I thought you said okay.
Inspired, dude.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I didn't hear you. Yes, Mike's my guy. Literally, the laptop that we are on right now, Mike, he donated for me to get this laptop.
Nice.
Yeah, literally. Give me 1 second. I almost forgot. I got to pick up my step though.
Well, let's hop off, bro. Okay, September 16th. This is going to come out.
About 10 more minutes if you need.
Okay.
About 10 more minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. Did you get my text too? Did you get my text?
It's on my other. Wait.
Okay.
Hold up. On Facebook?
No. I texted you. 0351. Okay. Yeah.
Got you. Yo, it's JD.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. Now you got my Mm-hmm. All right. Now, so September 17th, this is going to come out. This episode's going to come out Wednesday, September 17th. It's going to give you a day to drop. And by then, when this is, you're going to send me the link. When the link is live on Tuesday, you'll send me the link for Amazon or wherever you want me to have links to it. And if you're watching this now, that means you can go in the description of the episode on YouTube and you can click on the links and boom, take you right to the book and you can purchase. How much is the book going to be, Jeff?
The paperback is $19.99. I might be finished with the Kindle version today and find out what that's going to be, but that'll be between $4.99 and $9.99 for the Kindle.
Oh, that's all right.
The paperback is $19.99. Yeah.
That's legit. You're gonna have a Kindle version too. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. I stayed up to like 2 a.m. last night, actually. And I've been working all morning, dropping images in it. There's not much you can really do. You can't embed videos and a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? But at least you got the text, you got the pictures, and if you know certain little certain elements that you can drop in there.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Server Slogans didn't have it on Kindle version, did it?
Nah, I was brand new. I put that out and I was like, all right, let's roll with it. But this is all I'm talking about for at least 3 years. And I'm very serious about that. That's all I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because once people truly dig into it, right, and they start seeing the lessons and again, the actionable steps, you know, the emotional GPS mapping tool. Why map emotions, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3. You got areas where you could work if you choose to. You know what I mean? And like I said, let's say you are a facilitator. You talking about emotions today. And you're like, I need some content. Ain't nothing to talk about. You got it right here. Just write it out on the board and have them do what it is that they need to do. I mean, you got it right here, right? So that's that. Personal study. I bought the book for me. You know what I mean? I ain't doing it with a group. I'm doing it for me. Personal study. You have all of these actionable steps that you can put in play to get from chaos and fear to believing in yourself. Because the same way that you chase that DOC, right? The same insane belief that nobody, he ain't gonna be able to pull that off. You know what I mean? The same technology that existed in us when we were in our DOC still exists in us now. And what I have learned is that once we start working on the belief system, which includes the negative self-talk that runs, you understand what I'm saying? We got to get that out. Once you uproot that downloaded belief system and you proactively download a new belief system in you based on your vision. I keep doing this because it's all about the mind-body. It's about the mind-body connection. Mind-body connection and finding that alignment. When you find that alignment, that energy comes out of nowhere for you to go and do whatever it is that you're supposed to do, that you've been inspired to do. And that whole journey is becoming. And then once you get to that journey and you feel you get to that level and you're like, all right, I tapped out. What's next? Guess what? How crazy is it? You can still go back through that, huh? And apply the version that you are now to get to that next level, because you applied that version down here to get to that level. Blueprint, bro. I truly believe this with all my heart. A very simple blueprint for the mental health and recovery communities. Believe in yourself, because if you do, you'll start behaving in accordance with that. And if you believe and you behave, it's inevitable that you will become who you think you are. How many stories do we hear about all these celebrities and all these different people, whether, celebrity or not, but just successful within their own space that has a trauma story? I love a trauma story, because if you're telling me the trauma story, you're telling it to me from the perspective of what? Victory, bro.
Yeah.
Victory. We ain't in chaos no more, man. We're creating. We're not just, stumbling. We're thriving. We're living an abundant life, but it has to come from within ourselves. I have to believe I am abundant enough on this planet with 8 other billion people that I can accomplish whatever I set my mind to. I have to believe I have enough abundance within me. I have enough energy within me. I have to. But how do we get there? Whoa. We got to uproot some of this negative stuff that's deeply rooted within me. And how do I do that? I got to take my brain and I got to learn how to introspect that thing like this.
Yeah.
I got to really look at the belief system I'm currently dealing with, because I can't get where I want to go believing I am who I am today. I got to stay focused on that future version of me every day now. Yeah, man. So that's what I got. It came from my heart. Actually, it was a light that came from my heart, and that light morphed into the flower of life. And what burst out that flower of life, believe, behave, become.
My last question is, you're going to have another show for it? Because you had a show before promoting, sober slogans, where it was like a recovery show. You're going to bring back another recovery show now.
Yeah. I'm slowly building my studio up, my mic, my this, my that. My lights came yesterday. I got to get another mic, I got to get a stream deck. Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
It's gonna be virtual, and if you need a co-host, let me know, bro.
Don't even talk about that, bro. That's already said. I'm definitely reaching out to you.
Yeah,
I'll go without saying. Yeah, believe that. I don't know when it's going to happen. It definitely ain't going to be this year. I got way too much going on this year, but I definitely, I'm going to do the StreamYard again. That goes without saying.
Yeah, I love StreamYard, bro. I started doing this shit like a year ago. I'm never going back. Never going back. But all right, well, I'll let you go do your dad thing. It was great catching up with you, dude. Great catching up. And congrats on book number 2. I'm super proud of you, man. Love seeing you where you're doing.
To you, bro. I appreciate you. Congrats to you, bro. Never give up, bro.
Well, let's see. We both got this. And check out Jeff Vickers' book, Believe, Behave, Become. Boom.
That's
got
right.
it.
That's
got
right.
it. All right. Thanks, bro. I'll talk to you. See you.
Bless up. Thank you, my brother.
No problem, man.